What was a red flag you noticed that told you something was horribly wrong? My husband became a robot and I didn't know how to help him. We've been married for 6 years with 2 kids, and there's a third on the way. My husband works from 9 to 5, comes home, does his chores, plays with our 2 kids, talks to me for a little bit, and then goes to sleep. But he doesn't seem to enjoy doing any of it, like this whole thing is one big chore. I'm genuinely worried. He used to be this big goofy guy who smiled and told jokes all the time, but I haven't seen the man smile in months. It's not like he's neglecting his duties as a husband and father, but he acts like it's just that, duties, like hanging with the kids and me is a second job. I'm grateful for all he's doing, and he makes all of our lives so much easier, but it's like he's constantly on the clock and I think he might be depressed. I tried asking him if he was doing okay, and he tells me he's doing fantastic, but I know he's not. That's the line he uses at work when customers try to make small talk and ask him how he's doing. He doesn't take any time for himself, he doesn't take any breaks, he stopped playing video games when he used to love them, and he stopped watching any kind of TV. He just does what I feel he thinks needs to be done and I don't know how to help him out. Our intimate life has become one-sided. We do it frequently, but only because I initiate frequently. Even if he doesn't seem like he's in the mood, he'll do it. Like it's his responsibility to make me happy at any cost. It feels like he isn't there in the moment, like his mind is wandering the whole time we're intimate, and that to me, feels worse than getting rejected. I don't know what's going on, I don't know how to help because he won't let me in. To anybody else looking at him, he seems fine, but I know something is wrong and I don't know how to fix this. I miss my husband, the guy who complained, told jokes, and was spiritually alive. Not this robotic shell that looks like him. My husband came home at around 6 o'clock, and after he had something to eat I took him to the bedroom to talk. I sat him down on the bed and told him I was worried about him. I let loose all my thoughts about how I felt like he's been acting, and when I finished speaking, he started crying, like full-on crying. In all the years that I have known this man, I had never seen a tear roll down his eye. I held him for a few minutes until he could recompose himself, and he told me everything. He told me that the world was in a terrible place right now, and that we're bringing a child into a stressful time. He said when I became pregnant, he felt he had to step up, like he needed to take care of things because it was his responsibility. He said that the weight of carrying the family was so much harder than he anticipated. He thought if he doubled down he could get through it, but the more he tried, the darker the tunnel got, and eventually he couldn't see an end. He said that he feels like he's constantly drowning, and the only breath of fresh air is on the car ride between home and work. He said that sometimes the stress is so much that he throws up, but doesn't tell anyone and instead keeps going with his day. I started to cry a little bit too at that moment. I asked him why he couldn't tell me any of this, and he said he didn't want to burden me with the truth. He thought if he told me everything, I would stop seeing him as a protector and provider, and that I would inevitably stop loving him. Hearing him say that brought even more tears to my eyes because I didn't know where he got the notion I would feel that way. I asked him if he wanted to quit his job, but surprisingly he said the job doesn't bother him. He said the work in itself was fine, it's just now he feels an added weight to provide because not only was he fortunate enough to keep his job in the pandemic, but we also had a kid on the way. He said that some days he feels like packing a suitcase and running to some tropical island for a week and not telling anyone, but then he feels guilty and doubles down even more. I told him that maybe he should go on that trip, that he deserved a break, and maybe if he did exactly that he'd feel better. He tried to protest, but I insisted. In the end, he said that he'll only go if we go together, like a romantic getaway between spouses. He also said he wants to take the day off tomorrow and just sleep in, so that's the plan. I'll call his boss and say that he's sick and can't come in. It's not like they'll make a sick man come into work during the pandemic. Now he's playing with the kids, and it doesn't feel like he's doing one of his chores, he actually seems to be enjoying himself. For the first time in months, I don't see the robot, I see my husband.